What is going on, everybody? This is Dr. Holly Mays, man, on this edition of Daily Manna, man. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. Holly Mays. Listen, guys, I'm poised for a great show today. Gonna be a to the point show. I know a lot of people will not, they gonna be looking at me like, what? So, listen, I am excited about this show. But more than anything, I just wanted to kind of tackle on some things that some people gave me a while back. They kind of put in my, my inbox a while back, and I'm kind of just now getting to it. So right now I'm sharing just like I normally do. Listen, once again, this show can't happen unless you help it happen. So up at the top is our Cash App, and we would love for you guys to partner with us. You can do so by donating at Cash App, $ Dr. Holly Mays. Man, listen, we are trying to do some great things, guys. We're trying to go national. We're trying to go international. We're trying to bring you guys a different setup, more lighting, more equipment, more great guests, more topics, you name it. Be on location. But of course, we can't do this without you. So listen, we would love for you to be a part of what we're doing, and we enjoy your feedback. We do enjoy your feedback, okay? So listen, today, man, we got a wonderful show for you guys. We are going to talk about, watch this now, I'm going to be a little bit more transparent today because it is Friday, and this is just the type of day, I guess, to do this, right? Today, we are going to talk about my biggest failure did not become my biggest mistake. My biggest failure did not become my biggest mistake. A lot of people saying, man, Dr. Mays, man, hold on, man. I've been knowing you for a few years. You seem like you got some things going on. Seem like you dress nice. You got a nice family. You got this, you got that. But what people do not understand is how many times I failed and how many times they almost became my biggest mistakes. So what I want to talk about, and I want to encourage some people today, is I want to let you know that just because it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, it didn't happen the way you wanted it, it didn't come the way you envisioned in your head, that does not mean it's not going to happen. Sometimes I had to learn that my way and God's ways don't always become parallel. And I had to realize that God's purpose for me is better than my idea of myself. And a lot of people have a problem letting that go. They have a problem letting, that's why some of their businesses don't grow. Because you try to figure it all out and you don't understand. My spiritual father told me that we operate by faith. Everything that I do, everything that you should be doing, especially when it comes to business, you operate by faith. With faith comes favor, and with favor comes finance. We call that the F3 theory. The F3 theory. With faith comes favor, and with favor comes finance. And a lot of times we got faith, but we got faith in the wrong things. So listen, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about my biggest failure, if that's okay with you guys. And I got people here that's listening. They're going to be asking questions because some people really want to know, because they don't know, about some of the things that I failed at. The first thing I failed at was being a dad. That was the first thing in my life I failed at. I'm going to be honest with you. I failed. Now, let's go. You know what? Let's go further. Let's go further, okay? The first thing I failed at was being a son. That was the first thing I failed at, was being a son to my mother and to my dad. See, you really don't realize these things until people are gone. But I failed at being a son. And I didn't realize that I had failed being a son, and that's why, watch this now, I failed at other things. See, sometimes we don't understand that the way we are now is how we grew up. And it didn't have anything to do with your mom and dad. My mom was an alcoholic when I was growing up. Let me just be very blunt with you. My mom was an alcoholic, and I'm talking about a Scotch drinker. She wasn't drinking no E&J. She wasn't drinking that regular stuff. She was drinking the Scotch. I'm talking about when the bottle was clear, the liquid was clear, and the top was red. There wasn't even a label on it. It was Scotch. It was Scotch. It was used to light and like lighter fluid. That's how potent it was. It was the potency of Everclear. My mom drank it straight. Okay? And I grew up, man. I done been slapped in my face by my mama. I done got pushed around by my mama, man. I moved from place to place. You know, it was times we didn't even have a place to stay. I had to stay with my grandmother in South Dallas. All those things because my mama was not stable. Okay? Because she was dealing with a lot of things in her life. But because of her instability, I became unstable. So when I was in school, I seemed like the perfect student, but did the most imperfect stuff. So one of the things I did was as a student, I would go to school and I would make good grades, but then I would go home and I would take things. Somebody got something on, and they need to cut their volume down. One of the things I messed up on as a student was I went to school and made good grades, but then I would go home and steal cashier's checks out of my mama's purse because I was so insecure as a child because I was an only child. I didn't have no brothers and sisters. I was sick up until I was 9. And you got to understand, when I was little, people used to try to fight me all the time. I learned how to fight early. You know what I'm saying? But I would go home because I wanted to be like the other kids. My mama couldn't afford for me to wear Jordans or Nikes or none of that. So I would go and steal things that I thought I could go abuse and go buy and make me look good in front of the other people. Okay? So after doing that 50 times, I'm sure my mama found out before then, she confronted me like, son, are you taking my checks? Well, guess what I did? What any normal kid would have done? I lied. Okay? And my mom was not upset because I took the money. She was upset because I lied about taking the money. And that crushed my mom. So once again, fast forward some stuff. Years later, we had a conversation about it, and I explained to her what caused me to do that because there was many more incidences like that. But one of the things I told her was, and I told her it was because of her drinking and this, that, the other. But the biggest thing was I hurt my mom, and that let me know that I failed as a child. I failed as a son. I was not a good son. I was a good student. I looked good in front of people, but I was not a good son. Me and my mother did not have a great relationship mid part of my life because of my own insecurities. And because of my insecurities, I failed as a son. Why are you saying this, Dr. May? Because many of you are 30, 40, and 50, and 60 years old, and you are still insecure based on things that have happened in your life when you was 19 or when you were 15 or 14 years of age. And you have not learned to make peace with it. And that biggest failure in your life has now become your biggest mistake. And that's why you can't get to the next level. That's why you can't show people who you really are, because you don't really know who you are. And your business is not growing because it's not a great business. Your business is not growing because it's not authentic. And now your business is not authentic because the owner is not authentic. My biggest failure, first off, was not being a great son. I had to realize I was not a good child. I sold drugs. I hung with people I shouldn't have been hanging with. I lied. I disrespected my mother and my father. I caused her a headache. I caused her pain, and she busted her butt to give me everything she had without no help from brother, sister, mama, cousin, or nothing. The first thing I had to do to make sure that my biggest failure was not my world's biggest mistake was admit that I was wrong. Some of you still have not admitted in your business life, your spirituality, your finances, that you are wrong. It's your fault. It ain't your mama's fault. It ain't your daddy's fault. It was your fault. You the reason your mouth is bad. You the reason why you make the mistakes you make. You the reason don't nobody want to be around you. You the reason your attitude is like it is. Quit blaming it on people. You the reason why you are your biggest failure. My mama was an alcoholic. She didn't hurt me. She hurt herself. That's why she ended up with COPD. That's why she ended up with liver failure. She hurt herself. She didn't hurt me. You want to know why? Because even though she was imperfect, she tried to give me everything. And sometimes we blame our own issues on our parents because we don't want to be honest with ourselves. We need a scapegoat. We need somebody to say, guess what? You know what? I don't want to admit that it's me. I want to seem like I'm the perfect person. And the problem with that is you're not. You're not. You look all cute. You sound all handsome and like you're the man with the plan, but you hurt inside. You're a walking failure. And that's why everything you touch fails. That's why everything you do don't last. That's why everybody you meet don't believe in you. They don't trust in you. They don't sow into you because you are a walking failure and you let your biggest failure become your biggest mistake. I know people don't like hearing that. I get that. But I want to help some people break free. Y'all know what my show is about. It ain't no telling what we talk about today. But you gotta admit that you are the failure. Listen, and I'm gonna help you with the word failure because we've allowed people to make us feel like failure means that you are nothing, you are nobody, you are unaccomplished. That's not true. That's not true. Failure does not mean I will never succeed. Failure does not mean that I will never make it to the next level. Failure does not mean I am without a plan, I am without purpose, and I'm without destiny. That is not what failure means. Failure means that time it didn't work. That's what failure means. Failure means that plan didn't work, but I learned why it didn't work. I learned what it takes for it to work. I learned who to deal with, who not to deal with. I learned that maybe in this instance, I need to just be quiet and just keep that to myself. I learned to have faith in failure. But a lot of times when you fail, you say, oh, it didn't work. No, it's that it didn't work. That didn't work. That part of the game plan didn't work. But I realized when I was growing up, I had to admit that I'm the reason why me and my mama had a bad relationship. Once I did that, me and her had a great relationship. Me and her had a great relationship. Me and some of my friends had great relationships. Now people tell me I'm too honest. Now people tell me I'm too bold. Now people tell me I'm too straight up. I'll take that. Because one thing I don't ever want you to tell me that I'm a liar, that I'm fake. You see what I'm saying? Because fake people do fake stuff. And I don't care. If you fake to somebody else, you also fake to yourself. My daddy was probably one of the realest people I've ever met in my life. And one of the things is he always told me, you can call me whatever you want, but one thing you're going to call me is Raymond Mays. I'm that way every single day. I did not change. I did not try to be somebody else. And some of us are trying to be somebody else. You're trying to be somebody else. You're so weak and broken and beat up and battered and bruised that you can't even get to your success. All of that stuff is blocking you getting to who you really are. You can't even talk about why you battered. You can't even talk about why you was bruised. And watch this. A lot of it is your fault. I'm going to be honest with you. If my daughter falls down and she scratches her knee and we go and we put peroxide on it and put a Band-Aid on it, right then and there, here it is, the healing process starts. But if every time it itches her, she takes the Band-Aid off and scratches it and reopens the wound, guess what? The healing process becomes longer. What am I saying? Some of you, every time you get beat up, instead of allowing yourself to heal, you keep putting yourself in situations to scratch the itch. And you don't even understand the itching means that it's getting better. But you keep scratching it. You keep talking to people and dealing with people and reminding yourself of where you came from. Instead of dealing with where you came from, closing the door and going into a whole nother room. Mm-hmm. You never let it heal. And now you're trying to start a business and you hurt. You're trying to start something that says, I have to have customer service, but you hurt. You can't even provide good customer service to yourself. How you gonna provide it to people? Your attitude fuse is too short. You have no patience for people, but you want me to have patience with you. You want God to have patience with you. You can't run a business and you ain't got patience with yourself, let alone other people. Because you still have not dealt with failures in your life. One thing my dad told me before he left, he said, son, whatever you are failing at right now, face it hand on hand. Face it. If you failed the next thing I failed at was being a dad. I failed at being a dad. Okay? I did. I was not a good dad. Why? My excuse was my kids are in other states. My excuse was my baby mama don't like me. My excuse was, but watch this. Those were all excuses. I had to own up to the fact that if my son's mother said you had not been a good dad, I can't get defensive like she wrong. If I was going to become a good dad, I had to deal with the failure that I wasn't a good dad. That couldn't become my biggest mistake. Some of you are still dealing with parental issues. And you're like, well, I want my parent. They the parent. They should come to me. You are a grown man and grown woman. If you got problems with somebody, the Bible says if I have aught with my brother, I don't have to wait for my brother to come see me. I'm a grown man.
Thank you.
I'm not going to wait for a 10-year-old to call me. I'll call the 10-year-old. And I ain't got to say nothing to the mama except I apologize and the Lord is blessed. I'm going to do better. And it's a process. A lot of you don't want to deal with process. No, my son didn't like me at first. No, he didn't want to talk to me at first. And even now and then, now he getting behind himself. But it ain't his fault because that's part of process. Just because you start a business and you dealing with something and you up here like, oh, well, it's taking long. That's part of process. If you'd have started this 10 years ago, you would have been done with process. But you just now starting. Some of y'all still ain't started. Question.
Yes.
And before you ask that, listen, if y'all got questions, holler at me. Because I'm on the road today.
Either way we're going. How do you deal with, when we're talking about process, when you say going to somebody? So, for me, my biological father didn't come into my life until I was 18. I have reached out to him since 18. I'm 25 now. To have a relationship. I have given up this year because it's like I've continued to reach out. I've continued to reach out to you for that relationship. I've given up. Am I right or am I wrong?
Giving up is a strong word. No, I didn't give up because if you ever decide you want to make amends with me, I'm ready for you. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let you hold me hostage for what you didn't do.
Okay, maybe I need to explain it. He found me at 18.
Okay.
So for you to come in my life, you were there for 6 months. We did, you showed me the family, everything.
Right.
We never sat down and had that amends conversation. You keep avoiding this amends conversation. It's now being, again, I'm 25 now.
Okay. So here's the deal.
So what should I do?
So my son is 10 years old. I didn't talk to my son for a year. I came up with all kinds of excuses of why I didn't talk to my son. Okay, I always show mama, she doing this, that, and the other. But the fact in his mind is I didn't talk to him. So when we started communicating, we started talking and everything. And I asked him, hey man, listen, talk to me. What's going on? He said, Dad, the biggest thing that hurt me is that you quit trying. You quit trying. And I had to eat that. But watch this. He never reached out to me. He never came and tried to holler at me. He never tried. You see what I'm saying? Now, kind of your situation a little bit. At some point, the child has to either get two understandings. One, it ain't gonna never happen. Or B, it ain't happening right now. You gotta get to that point. Because if you use one will stop your forward progress. But the other one will allow your forward progress until you need to stop and then handle that. So you have to figure out what you want to do. You can't hold a grudge over his head and say, you didn't want to be my dad. Listen, he ain't the only one and won't be the last.
No, it's not so much as a grudge, and I'm open to if he ever wants to make amends, but I'm kind of at the point of I'm going to reduce my attempts to try to connect to reach out to you.
That's on you.
Because every time I do, it's always an excuse of, oh, well, daddy busy, I'm going to do this. Can I
I'm the same way with my son. I'm the same way. I'm going to be honest. I'm a very busy guy. So sometimes my son don't call. But my older son does. And he'll tell you. He'll call me and I'll be like, son, I'm in a meeting. What do you need? Because at some point, guess what? I mean, one thing I told my oldest son, and people may not agree with me or you may agree with me. That's on y'all. But one thing I told him is you are old enough to understand purpose. You're old enough to stand. Either A, we can move on, or B, we're going to stand still for a second. And at the end of the day, you have to make a decision on what you want to do. Because apparently he's made a decision on what he's going to do. The problem always is one person didn't make a decision that the other one has. And he may be moving on, going on with his day-to-day life, and yours is halted. Because you're still trying to figure out or hoping and saying, I need this door closure. Okay, I need this closure. You have to figure out that the fact that, hey, listen, if you want to stop communicating, that's on you. But that has nothing to do with your life. At the end of the day, you make that decision. You're grown. And that's just the bottom line. That sounds harsh, but it's the truth. We try to stay in a little kid state. Not saying you, I'm just saying in general. We try to stay in a young person state. Oh my God, well, I'm trying to reach out and he don't want to talk to me and he act like he don't love me. Maybe he don't, maybe he do. I don't know, and it hurt, it sucks, I'm telling you. But once again, if you got 20 years left on your life, what are you going to do in the midst of knowing that very fact? What are you going to do? Every day can't be about he ain't talking to me. He ain't listening to me. He don't want to. I'm having a problem forgiving. That's your problem. Forgiveness is on you. It's not on him. Forgiveness is on you. You have a choice. It can murder you, it can hurt you, or it can kill you. It can do all those things. And I know that's the hard truth, but it's the truth.
So I'm not wrong for continuing my life, but
I'm
still
not
allowing that door, if he wants to make amends, to be open. Like,
but are you really, the question is are you really continuing your life? Does it stop you inadvertently every now and then?
No.
If that's the case, then cool. But if every now and then, you wake up and you get to feeling some type of way because your daddy don't want to holler at you, then that's where it becomes contamination.
No.
That's when it becomes a problem. If that's not the case, then cool.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you do. It ain't a big deal. But some of us in business and in life, we can't move forward because subconsciously we are still dealing with failures that we have dealt with or been a part of by parents, by baby daddies, baby mamas, boyfriends, girlfriend, a long time ago. And what my thing is today is I had to learn to let everything go. So what, I wasn't a good dad. I hear you. Okay? But I can be one now. Whoever want to hold that over my head, you can. That's your fault. You got to deal with that damage. I don't. And the problem is we have to learn to let things go. Just because somebody say, oh, you treated me like trash. Okay, my bad. I let that go. Now, if you want to hold that over me, that's on you. But I'm gonna leave you in the dust, I promise. And that's a hard mentality to have. But if you're going to be a business owner, you better learn to let things go. You better learn to accept who you are, accept what you've done, make amends with it, and move on. I know I wasn't always a good dad. I haven't always been a good husband. I ain't never cheated or nothing. Don't get it twisted. But I ain't always been a good husband. My wife would tell you I ain't always made the right decisions. I'm a gambler. Been a gambler. In the black market world, and I'm a gambler. I'll risk it all to gain it all. That's just who I am. That's who she married. And has it hurt us? Yes. Has it helped us? Yes. But guess what? I make amends with it and I move on. And that's the thing. We got to quit holding grudges with ourselves. Man, listen, it was a time that I didn't work. I couldn't find a job because I got 7 felonies. I had 7 felonies. I had to make a decision. I could get out there and rob. I could get out there back and sell dope. I could do whatever, or I could take my butt to school and make myself marketable so when they look at my background, it don't outweigh what I bring to the company. See, I get tired of people saying, well, I got a felony, I got this. When you got so much on your record that they say, listen, this overshadows this. I let my past go. How did I let my past go? How did I make amends with my legal issues? Watch this, by becoming better than my legal issues. And so many people are still stuck. You stuck. You know what you need to do, but you can't get past you. Yeah. You can't get past you. Don't tell me you got legal issues. I got 7 felonies. I got 30 years over my head. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I don't want to hear it. Been shot twice. I'm not trying to hear none of that. All I'm trying to do is encourage someone that, hey, listen, yes, I know you have failed. But don't let your failures become your biggest mistakes in life. So now you become one of them cats that drinking 40s and smoking cigarettes at 7 o'clock in the morning talking about coulda, shoulda, woulda. You're a good storyteller, but you ain't never done nothing. My grandfather was a great man, but he was a better storyteller than he was a man. It's hard, but it's the truth. I don't care about your issues. I don't care what you done been through. You ain't the only one and you will not be the last one. Get over it and move on. So what? He don't love you. He don't love you. Move. Because you got somebody that you putting on hold that really will love you while you stand in the gap trying to sit up here and wait on the one that loves you.
I'm sorry. Yes.
You can't move on. I see it every day. I see it every day. I hear it every day. You are hurt because of somebody else. You hurt because of something that you did. But you blaming it on somebody else. I get on my son's mother all the time. You hurt because of something that ain't even got nothing to do with me. You hurt because your daddy left you. You hurt because your mama was a poor mama. And now when all you got to do, watch this now, all you got to do is accept fault of your own. When you accept fault of your own, guess what? I don't care about your fault. I don't care what my mama did and didn't do because I know what I did and didn't do. And when I deal with what I did and didn't do, guess what? I can do better. If they decide not to do better, that's on them. You couldn't tell me I was going to be uneducated. You can't do that because I knew education was money. What you hearing is education. What you see when you see me is education. What you see when you deal with my business is education. I knew education was money. I don't care how you look at it. Didn't care nothing about student debt. Didn't care nothing about none of that. I knew how much money I wanted to make. I knew where I wanted to take my family. And sometimes all I'm saying is you're holding yourself back. Your biggest issues are things that you have not acknowledged as issues. Your business is waiting to grow. You got a great concept. I was talking to one of my sisters this morning. You got a great concept as soon as you find out who's running it. As soon as you find out who's running it, what's up?
Can you make that clear? What did you mean by that?
Cool. Your business is an extension of you.
Right.
But if you don't know who you are, then your business don't know what it's gonna become. If you don't know, if your business is an extension of you,
right,
but you don't know who you are, how will your business ever reach maturity? How will your business ever reach purpose and destiny? You can't tell me your business is a great business. It is on paper. On paper don't make no money. It has to become reality. But if you don't know who you are and your business is a byproduct of you, then what you think your business is going to do? It's never going to have a true identity. No one wants to deal with somebody who don't know who they are. Nobody likes fake folk. They just don't.
Yeah.
So you can't run a business, but yet you don't know if you're insecure. Half of these folks are insecure in life, and you don't want to admit that you're insecure.
Yeah.
I tell you insecure, you get mad at me, and you know you insecure.
Okay.
You're trying to prove everything to everybody that don't mean nothing to nothing that you doing. You apologize. I don't need you to apologize to me. Apologize to yourself. I'm just being honest. Somebody tell you that you got an attitude problem. I ain't got no attitude. And then you display it right there. Your biggest failures are becoming your biggest mistakes. So when people ask you, I ask some of my uncles all the time, man, why didn't you become pastors and this, that, and the other? He said that's the biggest mistake I ever made in my life was not following my calling. Because I didn't think that nobody wanted me to be a pastor. I didn't think that God... Your biggest failure became your biggest mistake. Not listening to God. Being insecure. Trying to do stuff other folk want you to do or not do. Just be you. Be you. I had to learn to be me. With all my mistakes, all my flaws, all my failures, all of that. Just because I'm a pastor don't mean that, guess what? I should be pumped up more than the other person. Just because I'm a pastor don't mean I ain't made mistakes. My wife don't like me every day.
See, and I thought that.
No, my wife don't like me every day. My wife will tell me automatically, hey, listen, you got some money in your pocket? Please, go do something. Go.
Please go.
Because I done got on her nerves. Y'all pastors walking around here thinking that y'all got the best marriage. No, that's a lie. They don't. They don't. They done contemplated. Well, we ain't never contemplated divorce. I found that out yesterday when I said it yesterday. My wife was like, no, we ain't never. We ain't never. I was like, oh, my bad, babe. I thought maybe one day you didn't want to be with a brother no more. But we act like we put on these facades and we dress up with clothes and makeup and make people think that we ain't never been failed. We ain't never failed at nothing. Man, let me tell y'all something before I get ready to get out of here. Watch this. Now, I'm just trying to help somebody. Be more authentic, man. Listen, I don't care how good you preach. I don't. I don't care about your name. I don't. I don't care where you come from. I don't. To be quite perfect with you, I don't care about your... But at the end of the day, I care about your authenticity.
Yeah.
Are you for real? Are you for real? I'm tired of hearing stories from people that they want the story to be who they are instead of just telling me who you are. Bro, I heard what you just said, and yeah, you can say, oh, God is blessing me. But bro, you still a liar. Bro, you still a hater. Bro, you're still trying to knock off other people's wives, and ma'am, you're still trying to get at other people's husbands. You are failing at being a human being. You are failing at being a child of God. You are failing. And when somebody say that, you get mad. Like they don't see through the facade. You ain't got that much makeup on. I still see your true skin color.
Like, I can't see you.
I can see you, man. I watched this movie a while back, y'all, called Sixth Sense. And the little white dude said, he said, I see dead people. That means through everything else, I can still see you. I know you ain't who you claiming to be. And wait, in order for you to get who you claim to be, you gotta realize, understand, and know who you really are. Just because you got money don't mean you who you really are. That's a facade. I got pastors now. I was just on a conference call about 3 weeks ago about a pastor who claims he got all this money, but guess what? You're homosexual in the pulpit with your married wife. You fake.
No.
You won't make it. What do you think God is doing? All I'm saying is, and people that know me know how I roll. Be who you are.
If you don't know who that is.
If you don't know who that is, man,
Find out.
you need to spend more time finding out than trying to get in my business.
Go find yourself.
Find out who you are.
And save them.
Don't even save them. Deal with them.
Yeah.
Quit trying to save your old self. Let them be old, but deal with them. And just be who you are. I don't care if you like me like that. I love me. You know what I've been through? You know what I done had to deal with? You know how many no good Negroes that smiled in my face just to try to write me off behind my back? You don't know what I've been, so I don't care if you quit caring about who like you.
That part.
Grow you. Your business will grow when you grow you. I grow me every day.
Hey.
You can't beat me getting up. I dare you get up before I get up. I dare you work harder than me. I dare you read more books than me. I dare you pray harder than me. I dare you worship more than me. I dare you study more than me. And I'll put a challenge out there. Handle it.
Huh.
Because I know me. I dealt with me. My son mama can't come to me and be like, oh, yeah, this, that. Man, come on, man. Miss me with that. What's the real business? What you want to talk about? You can't get me with that. Because I already know where I failed at, but I didn't let it become my biggest mistake. I caught myself before it caught me.
So what you're saying is that they can't keep riding you about the same thing.
You
if I've
can't.
already
No, you can
accepted
keep
that.
riding me about the same thing. I'm cool with it. You can come, listen. An old person in the game can come to me and be like, man, I can't stand you, man. You did me wrong, man. You keep doing it all you want to. Here's the sure fact. I know better.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I know better.
Yeah.
I'm cool. You can write what you want. See, Facebook don't cause me to live my life.
Come on.
So just because you wrote a comment on Facebook about my character don't mean that that's my character.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? We allow Facebook to determine who we are, social media to determine who we are, and that's not true. Just because I see you with the little blue check mark don't mean that you done made it. That just means that you got a lot of people following you on Facebook or whatnot.
Well.
That don't mean you're a good man. That don't mean you're a good woman. That don't mean you're a good daddy. That don't mean you're a good child. You understand what I'm saying? That don't even mean you're a good a businessman or woman. It just look good on paper. So many people look good on paper, But when I put the paper away and try to look at you and see if they match up, they don't match up. And preachers included. Preachers included. That's why I don't get invited to a lot of people to preach, because you know that my sermon may end up hitting you where you hurt. That's my MO. That's my MO. And I know the word better than 97% of all the preachers in the United States of America. Try me. So at the end of the day, you got to know who you are. You can't beat me up with something I did a long time ago. I'm not going to beat me up with something I did a long time ago. So why would I let you? And you can say whatever you want to, but be very careful, because if you say something too bad, you might get yourself knocked off. I know some people are saying, man, that's rough, man. Bishop Mays, Dr. Mays. You know, that's when they start calling you your titles and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't holla Dr. Mays. How could I done surprised you in what I'm saying? But when you know who you dealing with, that's why it's hard to come talk to me. It's hard to come get at me. It's hard to deal with me. I'm straight up and down. Don't come to me with issues that you can deal with.
That you can
Don't
control.
get mad at me because you want to blame your daddy, but I say he's out the picture. So now how do you blame you? Do you blame you for not being a good husband? Do you blame you for not being a good father? I don't blame nobody else. I don't blame my son, mama.
And you don't blame your dad? Not
You can't.
being
You
there, don't
can't.
blame that.
My daddy had his chance at being a daddy.
Okay.
That ain't got nothing to do with me having my chance to be a daddy. I made a decision. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to realize you made a decision to be uneducated. You made a decision to be...
To not go.
You made a decision
Thank
to
you.
sit on your behind. You made
That's
a
right.
decision not to give 120. Don't get mad at your competitor
That's
because
right.
they out there going
Damn.
balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at them. You made a decision
To sit down.
to be weak and to not get it. You made that decision. Don't put it on nobody else. Don't wait for the climate to change and the moons to be aligned and it's your turn and my season. No, kill that. Seasons wasn't made for your professional endeavors. God didn't do that. He didn't make a fall, summer, spring, and winter to say, oh, okay, you know what? I didn't do it in the summer, but fall is coming. And that's no, he didn't make it that way. It wasn't for you, it was for him. Quit thinking because God did something, it was for you. No, it was for him.
It was everything for his glory.
It was for
anyway.
him. It didn't have nothing to do with you. Quit trying to include yourself in the glory of God. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Once again, I know people mad at me. I know people mad at me. It's okay. You had a question? You had a question? Oh, okay. See, people know me. I'm not shy. Never have been. I quit being shy when I went to 3 tours in Iraq. I quit being shy when I had to stand before a judge and plead guilty to 15 cases that I did all of them. It was enough evidence, videotape all of them. I quit being shy when they showed me on videotape after I done tried to lie to the prosecutor and they said, that ain't you? Let me zoom in. I quit being shy when I was laying on a hospital bed with 2 bullet holes in my chest and they say he ain't gonna make it. I quit being shy. Y'all chill out with all that. I want to encourage somebody to get past who you think they want you to be and be who you are.
Say that one more time.
Get past who they think you should be and just be who you are. If you don't know who you are, spend time with the one that made you, not the one that's trying to procreate you. Spend time with the one that made you. I don't care if you talk about me. I know who I am. Challenge it if you want to. You ain't got to deal with me. You got to deal with my creator.
Sure do.
Learn to let God be your business. Don't talk about it, because a lot of people talk about they got faith. You ain't got faith. I see how you moving. You don't believe in God. I see how you talk. God don't deal with insecure people. There's no insecurity in Christ. There was none. There was not one disciple that was insecure. The one that got insecure ended up killing himself.
Sure did.
Christ did not keep insecure folk around him.
That's true.
Why you got him around you? Because you are one. Birds of a feather flock together. So listen, man, I'm going to get out of here. Listen, hey, I pray that this has been helpful to some people.
Yes.
This is Friday, Fun Day Friday, but I felt it was time to be transparent
Come on.
because I get tired of people coming up with excuses. I'm going to read something to, no, I'm not reading it. I know it by heart. It's called Excuses. And I played back in 96 fall. So watch this. Those folk, the old school folk know this. Excuses are tools of the incompetent used to build monuments of nothing. Those who use them will amount to nothing. Quit giving yourself and other people excuses. Mainly, quit giving God excuses. Man up. Woman up.
You said quick.
Woman up. Man up. If you suck, say you suck. You don't have to use that word. I'm just saying. If you failed, you failed.
Yeah.
Learn from it. Change your verbiage. Change your mentality.
That
You don't know everything.
verbiage and mentality.
You don't know everything.
Talk to me too.
But that don't mean you ain't wise. That don't mean you're not smart. Sit your butt down somewhere. Love you. Love you. Love you. I'm going to say it again. Love
You.
you.
And all that comes with you.
My wife will tell you, I love me some Holly Raymond Mason. I love me. I do stuff that piss her off, but I adore it. You want to know why? Because I'm going to always do something that allows me to love me.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. Quit waiting for people to like the loving of yourself.
Oh!
I don't need you to. It wasn't for you. You don't like my business? Fine. Don't support it. But don't hate on it either. And if you are, I'm going to do it anyway. You don't like how I talk? Fine. Don't talk to me. Change the channel. But guess what? If you end up on my page, this is what you're going to get.
This is what's happening. How about that?
Because I know who I am. I know how God made me. I know my purpose. My purpose ain't to hurt. My purpose is to show you how valuable love is. And not just love of yourself, but love of God as well. Unconditionally. Whether they like it or not.
Or not.
If you gay, you gay. Quit justifying that.
Come on, Bishop.
Care?
Say that.
I ain't even the one you got to deal with. I got rules and regulations based on the word of God. I don't care what your private life is. You smoke weed, smoke weed. You listen to rap, you listen to rap. Quit trying to condemn and downsize who you are, and now you all miserable when you're around other people.
Come on.
If that's who you, if you don't like being that way, change.
Sure.
Quit saying, oh, let me turn my radio down. But yet when I'm not around them, I'm going to crank it up. But when I'm around them, I'm going to turn it down. If you don't like the song, turn it off. But if that's your song and they got to deal with you, you got to listen to that song. Real talk. Y'all quit that, preachers. Get tired of preachers sitting up, you come around me, and then I end up in your car. You tell me to go to your car to get something. And I got to put the car, and then all of a sudden I hear Meek Mill. But you broed up listening to William Murphy. Because you want me to think that you only listening to gospel music.
Or I get in your car and smell weed.
Yeah, or I get in your car and smell weed with bad air freshener. Y'all know I'm not playing.
But you a man of God, though.
But you're a man of God. And here's the deal. You may be a man of God.
Maybe.
But once again, you're a man too.
Thank you.
If that's who you are, bro, I'm not the one that... Bro, be who you are.
Because I ain't got to deal with it.
I ain't the one that got to deal with you, bro. Real talk. Quit acting like you something that you not. I've been the same person since I was a wee bit person. I done switched gears. I'm still a hustler. I'm still a thug. But I'm also educated. I've perfected some things.
Yeah.
I just do it in different ways. Y'all quit acting. Somebody call you a hustler, you get mad. Oh, I ain't no hustler. Yes, you are.
So I can be that, but be that in
Be
the
who you are. Listen, let me tell you something, and I'm gone. I was on here way too long, but I got way too many people coming.
It's a good thing.
Listen, let me say this to you. The biggest help for me wasn't people telling me, because everybody was scared and nervous to tell me about me. Whether it's because of size, whether it's because I don't look like I'm just the chummiest person, whether it's because you knew me and knew I was going to get at you because of my mouth, whatever the case may be, people have a problem telling me something. So I had to be the person to tell me. I had to do, it was imperative that I was the one to tell me about me. I couldn't wait on people to tell me because everybody wanted to be with me. Everybody wanted to be cool with me. Everybody, oh man, yeah, man, you be dressing me. Oh, you this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying?
But they weren't telling you.
But they weren't telling me the truth. They weren't telling me the truth. Like even now, folk think I don't be knowing that they be talking. You think I don't know what you say? You think I don't know you be talking behind my back? Man, if I done came at you once and you frailed up.
Come on.
So it ain't no sense in me coming, you know what I'm saying? But so I had to be my biggest advocate, but I also had to be my most honest person.
Biggest advocate, most honest.
Right, I had to be that's why I wrote a book called The Get Pumped Up Theory. I had to learn how to pump myself up. I had to. But I also had to keep myself in check. The Apostle Paul says every single day,
Die daily.
my flesh got to die daily. But couldn't nobody help me with that. I had to do it. I had to do it.
So you got to make it die every day.
I had to make it die every day. I had to go to God. God, how have I not pleased you? God, have I embarrassed you in any way? God, have I failed to operate effectively and efficiently on the assignment you gave me for the day? I got to be accountable for that. I don't care nothing about how you look. I don't care nothing about how big your church is, how much glitter and glamour you got in your church. Listen, you weak and you frail and you wondering all at the same time. That's why nobody will come to me. And no disrespect. When you know who you are, you can talk that way. Find out who you are.
And you can be that bold.
You can be that bold. You can't trust God because you don't even trust yourself.
Wow.
You don't even trust yourself. How you going to trust God?
And you can't even trust you.
Just because you know who God is don't mean you trust him. I know who Trump is, don't trust him with a 5-foot pole. Quit saying you trust God, but you don't believe in yourself. Quit saying you follow God, but watch this. You don't even want to follow yourself. You don't even want to follow your own lead. You're questioning your own leadership. I don't need nobody to help to lead, but that don't mean I can't take advice. That don't mean I can't accept mentorship. That don't mean I can't be submissive to authority, but and still be who you are. I have a spiritual father, okay? If he tell me to do something, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to do it, but that don't make me less than a man. And I still can be who I am.
Even within the obedience.
Even within the obedience. Even within the obedience. Be who you are. Don't dummy it down for people. If you're a full load of bricks, be a full load of bricks. You understand what I'm saying?
If you know picnic, you know picnic.
Hey, listen, if I'm hard to be around, I'm hard to be around. That let me know that those that are around me, they got some toughness with them.
Got some heart.
I can't be around weak folk. Don't get mad at me because ain't no telling what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Straight up, I don't wear my feelings on my shoulders. Somebody got mad because I told him what I told him, and that I said, bro, you wearing your feelings on your shoulders. I feel that's disrespectful because I told you that you wear your feelings, and you know. The bad thing is I told you and you know it, but you mad about it. Come on, man, y'all got to quit playing with me in here.
So it was disrespectful because you pointed out what he was trying
It didn't matter to me why it was disrespectful. I just knew you was wearing your feelings on your shoulder. I don't care whether you thought it was disrespectful or not.
Right.
So at the end of the day, folks, listen. Let me get out of here. I got work to do. Listen. Whoever you are, whatever your mistake is, whatever your errors were in your past, face up to them. Own up to them. Quit blaming your daddy. Quit blaming the one that raped you. Quit blaming the one that molested you.
Come on, Bishop.
Quit blame. Listen, I get it.
Bishop.
Those are horrible things.
Horrible.
Those are. I'm not condoning them.
Huh.
But I'm not gonna let them keep me hostage either.
You gotta let them go.
Okay. You think I didn't have somebody, a babysitter, touch me when I was little? The problem is I can't remember it. It's not that I don't think it didn't happen. I just didn't allow it to stay in my long-term and short-term memory bank. I replaced it with something that matters.
Wow.
Just being honest with you.
You replaced it with something that matters.
Yeah, that didn't matter to me. That was not me. Somebody else's failures, they got to live with that. I'm good with it. I didn't become a homosexual because my daddy tried to rape me or my mama molested me or this, that, and the other. No. I replaced that with something else. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not knocking condition or none of that. But I'm just being honest. And those that are honest understand what I'm saying. I did not let my failure become my biggest mistake. I allowed it to promote who I am and make me better. My mama alcoholism, allowed it to make me better. My daddy not doing the things as a father, I allowed it to make me better. My failures, I allowed it to make me better, not become an eternal mistake. I didn't want to be a shoulda, coulda, woulda granddaddy.
Yes.
I didn't want that. I didn't want that. Don't tell me you ain't got it. This is your problem. Quit making excuses and start making things happen. I'm out of here, y'all. Listen, man, hope y'all have a great weekend, man. Love you guys with the love of the Lord. Man, if I've been a blessing to you guys, man, if you guys want to see us grow and build, we can't do it without you, man. Please, we ask you, man, if this has been a blessing, I'm asking 20 people to sow $20 to Dr. Holly Mays on the Cash App. Dr. Holly Mays on the Cash App. I'm telling you, man, it helps us do things to help us get better, man. We want to bring you guys more content. We want to do it in more places. We want to bring more people. We want to do things, man, on a whole nother level, but we can't do it without you. So listen, man, I love you guys with the love of the Lord. Once again, remember to uplift Christ wherever you go, and do me a favor. Make the rest of your day the best of your day. And I love you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.